So on that kind of note too, is like stepping in and playing with higher skilled players. I remember even this more so in the dynamic of being a younger guy playing with older players, but whether it's you were on the third line and now you're gonna get an opportunity to play with the first line. If we just put our hat on of being that guy, the guy that is getting the opportunity now to play with the better players, what are some of like the common things that you think of in terms of like why that could be challenging for that player and like how to overcome some of that stuff. So like the things that popped to my head, the reason I'm asking the question is I was thinking about a guy like Hyman as your example is the first time he got an opportunity to play with McDavid, let's say, or before he went to play with those guys in Toronto, when he got the opportunity to play up. And he's like, oh, okay, maybe I'm not just a third or fourth line guy. And maybe he didn't think this. I'm just using it as an example, but he gets an opportunity to play with these guys. Maybe at the NHL level, it's not the same as for youth, but the mindset kind of piece of it, you know. So I'm going to jump up and play with these guys. Like, what are some of the things that might get in the way, or like might be difficult to manage when you're in that situation? Does that make
Yeah,
make sense?
I'll tell you this: when I played on youth under 17s, we went to it was called the ESO World Challenge then, right? We had some guys on our team that were really good. So I remember like the Shanahan. So I played with Shanahan, Luke Richardson, Jeff Harding, bunch of guys. But that was our team, right? I remember watching Jeff Harding. He was 6'4", blonde kid from Toronto. He looked like he was 47. Big boy. Yeah, great guy too. He used to he had some good tunes with Misled. That's where I got that downloaded in my Cool in the Gang. Misled from Jeff Harding. Anyways, he had the blonde hair. He looked like a beach boy. He got on the ice and he was smooth. And I was watching how he did some stick handling and stuff, and I was like, right away in the summertime when I saw it, I wanted to incorporate it. And I was trying it in different areas. And you know what the problem was with that? It wasn't me. But he was big and it looked like he looked the part. He looked like probably the best player in the world at the time. Big right-handed guy, and he never stick handled. He was just like toe to heel, skating down the ice, and he could shoot a puck pretty good. And it was like, my point to that is that was my biggest mistake, is I was trying to be that, and I was a whole different version of that. I was like, he was 6'4", I was 5'10". He was blonde, I had a bad haircut. He had blonde flowing hair, I had a bad haircut, right? He was like everything he was, I wasn't. So I was a gritty, skilled gritty guy that would do things hard. He was like smooth and he was gritty, but he was like, it never looked like effort. So I kind of wanted to, okay, I want to look like that. So my point is, if you get put in a situation is like, and this is especially at higher levels, is don't think you have to be that. So if you get to play with Connor McDavid, you're not Connor McDavid. You're you. If you're playing with, I'm thinking someone in junior that's really good that maybe could stick out. Anyways, don't confuse yourself with that. You know, if you're like a defenseman, if you're paired with Cale Makar, you don't have to be Cale Makar. What you have to do is support Cale Makar to be really good and stay there. So I think where Zach Hyman's biggest gift or intelligence that he had was that he worked hard, and this is why I say like learn how to have those habits that'll make you great. Because most people are never going to have the speed. Most people, nobody, has the speed of the McKinnon, McDavid, right? The hands, hard to come by. McKinnon with the speed and the hands, like that's not what you're going to be. Like there's only one of them. So if you think that's how you're going to play to stay on that line or make him better, no. But what you can do, as Zach Hyman did, as when they were coming down the ice, he would go in a straight line, put his head down, put stick down, drive to the far post or whatever post, stick down, and there might be a tap in there. If there's a loose puck, he's phenomenal on the forecheck. If you watch Zach Hyman forechecks, you just go clips, watch him forecheck. He dumps it into a place where he can get a lot of times first on the puck to control how the puck's going to be managed. So that if he has the puck and can manage it, and he knows McDavid and Draisaitl or whoever he's playing with is on the ice, good chance good things are going to happen. So that's how he can make them better. Because yes, McDavid could be a great forechecker, but like you want him to have the puck. Whatever. Anyways, if you can enhance and get the puck to him, that's better. And then he learned to get in front of the net and basically, and this is a huge compliment. Out of his 50 some goals last year, probably 48 to 50 of them were you could have scored with a shovel. which is good. That means you're in the dirty areas, which a lot of guys don't do. So what that guy has done, everyone would say that McDavid, of course, you're going to get those goals if you play with McDavid, but that's not true. You're not going to get those goals unless you play a game that's pretty hard to play. And it's not. Is it ultra skilled? Yes and no. I have never minimized any skill in a game as not skill. Is that a sentence?
Yeah.
Okay. But like going to the net is a skill, right? Driving the net is a skill. Finding
There's
a
different
lane to
kinds of
get to the
skills,
net,
man, yeah.
being first on the puck on a forecheck is a skill. Being able to tip pucks is a skill, but scoring goals from 3 to 7 feet outside the blue paint is a skill, and it takes some balls to get there. So not everybody can do that. So he found a way to be the best left winger that Connor McDavid could possibly have, I think. So that's the key is if you get to a chance to be so I can go all over. The bottom line with that guy is Hyman, let's say, is that he learned how to play both ends of the rink extremely hard, has a brain for the game, and we could say he's lucky. He's not. He worked his way to that point, and he's having a lot of success.
Yeah, I think my takeaway of that, what you just said, is that point of you don't have to be the guy you're playing with. I think that's an easy thing to get kind of flipped into in your own mindset is I'm going to play with him. I got to be like him. I got to try to do the same things he's doing. And like, this is the thing we always say is like, only one guy can have the puck. Only one guy can shoot the puck. And like, you don't need multiple guys to do it all the time. There's other roles that you can fill. If we do the reverse now, let's say you're the top guy and you have me as your coach and I say, hey, I need you to go play with these two guys to make that line a little bit better. Same kind of question. What's some of the, or maybe just walk through the mindset. Like, what do you feel like the mindset should be if you're that guy? You're the top end guy that now you have to play with a couple weaker players and your job is to bring the lineup. Like, what's your mindset in that situation? Yeah.
It is. What a compliment. Happens all the time. It happens all the time to good players. It's okay. It's okay. Like your mindset should be okay. Good. Here's a challenge. I mean, like we said, something bad that's actually good. Where's the good in it? And the good is that you get to be a guy on a line that maybe you elevate two people's games or your defense pairing game, your defense partner's game. If you can elevate someone's game, you're helping your team, right? The long-term picture, the big picture is like, can I help my team? That's really should be in hockey. And if you do that, then okay, then it's just going to help the team. Great. And will it be times where you might be a really good player playing with two guys that are, like a really big step below you, and you give them a pass and it blows up, or you get a pass that's in your feet and then they're slower and all that kind of stuff. That's fine. So you find a way to work with that, right? So maybe because they're probably if you're that good and you go down two lines, let's say, and there might be more time in your defensive zone. That's good. Learn how to be really good defensively. If you're a centerman, like really work hard at getting down low and getting pucks up to your wingers and getting it out. Make plays. Like you might not get as many points, but it's okay. It's okay.
That's the thing. It's
okay.
Hard. It's just the hard. It's almost got to be. You have to be getting that input, like that feedback from everyone. Like people got to tell you it's okay if you're not always getting points. They have to tell you it's okay to be good at other things and this stuff. Because I remember being young and it's like it's all about the points all the time, man. It was all about the points until I was 20, right? Like I needed feedback about this stuff. Like I needed someone to say if you do some of this other stuff. I had one moment that I've used multiple times about when my coach said you have to do other things or you're gonna get scratched. I started to do some of that, but I still had that lingering. I want to get points. But I just started to open my mindset, and it was like 17 or whatever when that happened.